everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 7, Episode 31. DJI Neo hits FCC database. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Let's get into seeing who's here. We've got a full house here already. Michael Wright's here. Tony is here. Akarasho, Drone Shots. John Olson, welcome, John. Let's see, Waypoint New England, welcome. Good to see you. Who else we got? Leonard Olsby, welcome, Leonard. Good to see you. Joe Merrick is here. Welcome, Joe. Let's see who else we got. Art's in the house. Welcome, Art. Charles Hatmaker. Welcome, Charles. See who we got. Jaybird's here. Welcome, Jaybird. John Flynn. Welcome, John. CT Pirate. Welcome. Wow, got a full house tonight. My goodness. Seeing who else is here. I think I've got everybody for now. Casey Kernfrider. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you as well. Big Orange Drone Flyer. Zach. Welcome. See who else we got. Lauren, welcome. Fly Guy Merrill, welcome. Full house tonight. Full house. Just start off the show, okay? Just want to make sure. If you want to chat about political stuff, I can direct you to one of my sites, okay? Because I want to keep all this conversation centered on drones. There's going to be nothing politically or even remotely politically. Well, we're going to talk about the ban, but that's not really, we're not going to be talking about politics, okay? I want to make that 120% clear. Okay, starting off with that, okay? Hope everybody's doing well. We've been having the last 3 or 4 weeks, okay? We had a really good drought for about 3 months. I mean, we had very minimal rainfall. I'd say maybe like 6 inches in about 3 months' time. It was not a lot. Last 4 weeks, 5:30, 4:30, 5, 6 o'clock, massive thunderstorms coming through, just torrential rain, okay? And it's been like that at least 3, if not 4 weeks. I mean, I kid you not. 4:30 comes rolling around, and that's, it's the Fred Flintstone time and ready to say goodbye to work. And then all of a sudden, here, boomies outside, and it's vivid lightning, total downpour, wipers on fast, can't see worth jack out there. It's ridiculous. And then by now, it's just like, seeing the thing in Florida, because it's so warm down here, half hour after it rains, you never even knew it rained. The pavement's dry, the bricks are dry. The only thing you can tell, my truck's still wet. And it rains overnight, too, because my truck's wet in the morning, okay? When I go out there and take a look at it, it's wet. So go figure all that. Just burr. Okay. Lots to talk about tonight. One of the things I do want to show you guys is, and I'm going to save this, it's an incredible video. Now I'm going to kind of set this up. I want Ron and Marcus to be on when I'm showing this. But this is one of my friends who used to live in the development where we came from. Great guy, great drone guy, absolutely fantastic drone guy. Knows his stuff. Okay, Orlando's his name, and he was vacationing in Greece in the Mediterranean and just having a blast. And he had I'm not sure he had the Air 3 or the Mavic 3. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just trying to set this up. And something I've never seen in my time since I've been covering drones the past 7 or 8 years, something I have never seen ever happen before. I have seen every kind of drone video imaginable and then some. It's just insanely incredible. So be on the lookout. We're going to remind me of that. If I don't show this to you by the time we're getting ready to sign off, somebody remind me of that, because I don't want to forget this, okay? I really don't want to forget this. Okay. All right. Well, it's interesting because one of the articles that I saw here was, now this was over in Shanghai, and this was really interesting. Tourists fined $9,000 for flying DJI Air 2 drone over Marina Bay, and apparently, I think that's in Shanghai. A 68-year-old Chinese tourist found himself tangled in legal trouble for flying a DJI drone illegally over Singapore's iconic Marina Bay, okay? He was fined $9,000 last week, pleading guilty to 3 offenses under the Air Navigation Act. The hefty fine followed his failure to obtain a permit required for drone flights above 60 meters in a protected area, okay? Well, that's Okay, and they're clamping down on it, and good for them. I mean, that's a lot of tensions between us and China, but that's interesting, and that's a good thing. And it's good that they're clamping down on it. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. We'll save that for later. Okay. Excuse me, guys. All right. All right. FAA clears first Category 2 drone for flying, DJI drone for flying over people. Drone weighing more than 55 pounds. All right. Commercial drone operators using DJI Dock 2 can now operate the DJI M3D or M3TD platforms over populated areas more freely, provided they equip the drone with a parachute system developed by Aerial Vehicle Safety Solutions. Now, several years ago, probably 5 years ago or so, I put out a video about drone parachutes. Believe it or not, I think it's one of the rare ones that's out there. There's not now. Some of the manufacturers put them out there, but not a lot of drone reviewers have covered this topic. The VP of Operations expresses excitement after several years of working to receive approval for the MOC with key partners in recent completion of ASTM F3222 and ASTM F3889 for the DJI Dock 2. These Category 2 and Category 3 DOC approvals by the FAA is a major milestone for AVSS. The work, generally Category 2 and Category 3 performance-based eligibility and operational criteria for effective drone operations over people use drones weighing more than 55 pounds without an airworthiness certificate under Part 21. Category 2 enables sustained flight with open air gatherings, while Category 3 imposes additional safety limitations. In Category 3, drone operations over crowds are prohibited unless conducted within or over closed or restricted access venues, while individuals are duly notified of potential drone flights, or if the drone maintains flight over individuals who are directly involved in the operation or situated under protective structures or stationary vehicles. Now, these, I can tell you from having done some research previously on this, these drone parachutes aren't cheap. When I last did some research, they would run anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. So they're, like I said, they're not cheap. And the one that I saw, it was put on an Inspire 2, and an Inspire 2. I don't know I don't think it weighs that much, but it might. I'm not sure. But be that as it may, I saw several tests with that parachute, and it worked every single time. Okay. Now the drone may have suffered some damage on the way down, depending upon where it hits. But it obviously, if they're letting that pass, it have, I guess the terminology that they use is called kinetic force. Okay. And as long as it has a certain amount of kinetic force when it hits or under, it's deemed being safe. In other words, it will give people enough time to get out of the way because it's not coming down, like a rock. It's coming down. It's coming down quick, but it's the point where you can move to get out of the way. It's not falling like a brick. So, but that's real interesting that they do that. And like I said, those systems are not cheap. Those systems are going to run 2, 3. I imagine now it's probably $4 or $5 grand for something like that. But the FAA giving clearance for this is exciting news. That's good thing. So that really is something that I think is very good, and I'm excited about that as well. And I think that's good news for the industry. We got a good crowd tonight. I'm checking out your chat. Reduce potential energy. There you are, Barkley. You got it, man. You got it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, I used to be really good in physics. I took physics in high school. I did really well in that class, and I wasn't a real math guy, but I love my physics teacher. Fantastic physics teacher. And I did well with that. And I kind of sort of understand some of that stuff, not everything, but be that as it may. Okay. All right, let's see here. All right. Well, we did tell you guys, don't put your party hats on about the drone ban. And lo and behold, it was right. I said, be cautiously optimistic, but this can be amended again. Well, lo and behold, it was amended again. And we're going to take a look at this, all right? And I wanted to make sure that we spent a few minutes on this tonight because it just, I do want to, I'm going to read some portions of this here too. DJI Drone Ban bill back on table with NDAA Amendment, okay? Senator Rick Scott, Republican, Florida, okay? Let me put you this way, okay? And this isn't political, all right? Rick Scott, when you talk about senators from the state of Florida, everybody knows Marco. Everybody knows Marco, little Marco, all right? Nobody talks about Rick Scott. Nobody talks about Rick Scott. Rick Scott used to be governor here as well, okay? And he's the one that has done this, okay? So you can put his name up there with Elise Stefanik, just to let you guys know, okay? Scott has been a tenacious advocate for Chinese drone ban in the U.S. for years. His American Security Drone Act, which prohibits federal government from buying Chinese drones, was recently signed into law. Even the CCP Drone Act was first introduced by Scott and his colleagues in February 2022, urging the FCC to add DJI to its covered list. All right. Now, what he's done now, the senator is convinced that communist China funds technology like drones made by DJI to spy on Americans and steal their data. He urges Americans to think of every Chinese manufactured drone as the spy balloon that made headlines last year. Each drone has the ability to gather data or carry harmful payloads across America's military installations and target our critical infrastructure, natural resources, businesses, and families, Scott stresses. And that is why, in addition to DJI, Scott proposed NDAA amendment co-sponsored by Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, Democrat Virginia, calls for a ban on all new Autel robotics drones too. Moreover, the new Countering CCV Drones Act targets any entity in a joint venture with DJI or Autel, as well as companies they may have provided tech licenses to, such as Anzu Robotics or Cogito Tech, okay? There you go. Now, we have been talking about that, saying that Anzu and Cogito weren't going to be exactly safe, and that they were going to get specific language in there. Well, they got specific language in there. Yeah, okay. We're going to, every year, hundreds of amendments are introduced to both the Senate and House versions of the NDAA. Not all of them make it, but they are debated on nonetheless. The amendment will also be discussed when the Senate considers its version of the NDAA FY25. That's a National Defense Authorization Act, okay? And then there will be final reconciliation between the two versions, after which the bill will land on President Biden's desk for final approval. There's a lot that can happen between now and then, but if you're worried about the Countering CCP Drones Act, this is the best time to request a meeting in person or virtually with your member of Congress and share with them why you use the drones you use and how a ban would impact you. Now, that link down there, okay, that link down there is, yeah, James, you know what? Okay, I did get a reply back from Scott's office. It was just a canned response via email. Marco, I tried leaving a message. I can't even leave a voicemail on him. And I tried both his local office here in Tampa and his office in Washington, D.C. Go figure, okay? Absolutely go figure. Mark, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you tonight. So what I was going to do was this, okay? This request a meeting. Now, this is through, and oh my gosh, Dobo had him on. He's from the Drone Advocacy Alliance. Okay, great guy. I'm sorry, his name escapes me. If one of you guys want to drop in the chat, okay. There's Ron. Hey, Ron.
Hello, Bill. How are you tonight?
Not paying attention like I should.
That's okay. I've only been here a couple minutes. I heard you talking about the last story. Your boy Rick Scott's been pretty busy down there in the Senate in Florida, making sure the CCP Pete gets in the new Senate bill or whatever.
Yeah, and he got all the little hooks in, okay, because he got Anzu Robotics and Kajito Tech and and Autel's in there too and all this stuff, and then and he's saying could carry a payload. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I want to talk about the payload thing for a second here. All right, now I saw, and this was probably a few years ago, Billy Kyle tried lifting up a bottle of like a 20-ounce bottle of water, 16-ounce bottle of water. Okay, the drone did it, but it struggled to do it, and I'm like, this is all made up stuff, Ron. Okay, I
Unless
don't
you got
know.
a DJI flight card or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, they struggle with anything more than 8 to 10 ounces. Seriously, and you're not gonna. What are you gonna?
Yeah. Let me ask you one thing. I bet you when whatever ticket Rick Scott ran on Florida, banning drones wasn't on his agenda. Nobody voted him in to ban drones, right?
Yeah, nobody. No, you know what?
I bet you he doesn't have one letter from a constituent in his office asking him to ban drones.
Okay, and he is and right before you came on, he's the senator nobody even thinks of in Florida. Okay, everybody thinks of Marco. Okay, everybody talks about Marco. Nobody thinks about Rick Scott. Now, Rick Scott was a former governor in the state of Florida as well too, and he was, I'm going to put it this way, an unremarkable governor. Okay, he didn't stir the pot up one way or the other way. He did his business. And he wasn't.
He just treaded water for 4 years, huh?
Yeah, he treaded water for 4 years, and he went in and he ran for Senate and he got elected and all that kind of good stuff. All right,
right.
But
whatever reason people voted him in, I bet you drones had nothing to do with him getting voted in as a senator.
Absolutely nothing. Okay, and he says Communist China funds technology like drones made by DJI to spy on Americans and steal their data. He urges Americans to think of every Chinese manufactured drone as a spy balloon that made headlines last year. Each drone has the ability to gather data or carry harmful payloads across America's military installations and target our critical infrastructure, natural resources, businesses, and families.
Wow.
Well, you know what?
These little drones are a lot more dangerous than I gave them credit for.
Well, I'm just like, wow. I didn't know. I have my 4 or 5 drones here. I didn't know I had lethal weapons in the house.
Yeah. Bill, couldn't somebody load the back of a pickup truck with a whole bunch of explosives and drive it right into the gate of a military base?
They sure could.
And now, should we ban all trucks that carry
all
big
pickup
payloads?
Trucks? Yeah. Should we ban all pickup trucks? Yeah. That's a great point, Ron. Or a garbage truck. What if somebody fills up a garbage truck with explosives and just
drives it right through the gate of any
military installation? Okay,
or right into the the Florida's governor's mansion or something.
Yeah, or just the White House or the Capitol or something. It's preposterous.
Yeah, if you want to write like a spy thriller, you could put anything in there. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're like writing a spy thriller.
Yeah, and I gotta say this. It's just like I have to think if what you're doing right here is trying to scare people, it's not working with this. Okay, because you, myself, everybody in the chat, and Marcus too, we all know what this is. This is just this is fear mongering. Okay, this is stirring up the faithful. Well,
because none of this stuff has actually happened in the U.S.
Yeah. When has there been an attack from a drone on somebody in the United States? Okay. A bona fide 100% attack.
Yeah, that's been convicted in court or something like that. Court proved it.
Yeah. Now drones have been shot at, and those that have shot drones have faced felony charges, which it is. It's a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony to shoot at a drone. But there has not been an instance. The only thing I remember is it was a few years ago the guy flew a Phantom 4 and it hit an Army helicopter. Now, obviously, it was out of control, so he had no control of that, and he did
Right.
not.
The guy didn't do it on purpose.
Right. That was not done on purpose. Okay. To kind of clarify all that. But this is all stirring up the pot, getting people excited again for what? Okay. And
I guess Rick hopes he can earn a couple anti-China votes in the next election.
People, and also
hate China.
The co-sponsor is Senator Warner, Democrat from Virginia, so it's bipartisan. This isn't
right. Well, everybody needs a couple anti-China votes, no matter what party you're in, right, Bill?
Oh yeah, I mean it's always going to be good to help you get some votes from your constituents for that. But I'm going to say this, and I'm kind of stuck by this. All right, number one, there's a link for the Drone Advocacy Alliance, and I clicked that link, and what it does is it says if you're interested in meeting with one of your elected representatives in Congress, fill it out, and I did because they're in recess during August. They have their 4-week vacation during the month of August. So I filled that out. So I'm hopeful of maybe hearing from my congressman's office, Vern Buchanan, and I'm going to reach out to him, and maybe I could do like a StreamYard or a Zoom call with him and ask him some of these questions, face to face, so to speak, and say, look, Congressman, what's going on here? Because this is going to cost thousands of Americans their jobs, their livelihoods. You're going to interrupt first responders and take life-saving tools away from them without any kind of replacements in place. I mean,
and let him know right off the bat, you're not looking for a canned answer, whatever. You want to hear his real thoughts, not some canned response.
Yeah, I don't want to hear, thank you, Bill. I appreciate this. This is a situation that we're looking into. We considered every angle of this, and it's just, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, like you said, I want to hear a real answer. I want to hear somebody tell me, look, Bill, we do have concerns. And I said, okay, Congressman, we have heard ad nauseum that there are concerns about security and safety issues with these drones, but yet no one has shown us or shown data or the actual, footage of how these drones are spying on installations and doing damage here in the United States. We would like some of that. Okay. Show us the money.
Right.
Show us the money. I mean, it's as simple as that. So
stay
tuned. But what I think is going to happen here, and they talk about it at the end of the article, there's a lot that can happen between now and then. Okay. So what I think there's going to be some compromise on this. And what I think is going to happen, they're still going to allow consumer drones. They're still going to allow consumer drones to be sold, okay? But I think there's going to be more restrictions on them, which is fine. I think that's something we now know that to have drones, maybe take some of the good with the bad and take these restrictions, okay? I think what they'll do is they'll probably place some tariffs on like the Matrice series for like industry, not for first responders, but for industry, place maybe a 25% tariff or so on those to kind of offset that and make sure that they follow stringent, strict security measures and protocols with that. And we talked about this before too. The other part is, where DJI was shutting off its data sharing feature. They should have done that a long time ago, Ron. I mean, that was just they were asking for trouble leaving that air. They really
you mean saving your logs?
Yeah. They were asking for trouble with that.
But of course, a lot of people, when they did that, a lot of people were upset and they went to third-party services to save their logs. So that was a request that people want. And if you're Part 107 pilot, you do have to have a log of all your flights. So that was a handy way of doing it. So, could you opt out of the logs if you wanted to previously? Do you know that, Bill? Whether you could log out voluntarily, you could pick not to do those logs.
That's a good question. I know who would know the answer. Lon would probably know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he was in the chat tonight, because I think that would be something he would be able to answer, because I can't answer that. That's one of those ones.
Yeah. I never cared that. I never cared that a lot about flight. In fact, every once in a while, it was nice to look back to see what you did in a certain flight or whatever. So I saw it as a benefit, and And believe me, Bill, I've never met any flight that anybody in China be interested in.
Yeah, same here. You know,
Like
people are
when
gonna,
we were flying, what was the beach we were flying at on the West Coast?
Jensen.
No, you and I were flying on the West
Oh,
Coast,
oh, 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 oh,
Tampa area.
mm,
Anyhow,
Reddington. Reddington.
what we're trying to do with the data, you and I flying around that beach at night on that abandoned pier?
Over that abandoned pier.
I
Yeah,
mean,
in
would
Reddington
they
Beach.
plan to launch their American invasion on that abandoned pier?
Yeah, they were gonna hit it up through that abandoned pier and come in. So they had all this. They knew the length and the height of the pier. They knew they knew how structurally sound it was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's typical of most of my flights. Flying over a beach, maybe they could see some nice hotels they want to stay at if they invaded or whatever. But I mean, nothing of any military importance in any of my videos.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what people are going to see my clubhouse. People are going to see the Snake River Canyon with Marcus. People are going to see the beach and Lucy with you. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, is your clubhouse going to be the barracks for the Chinese army when they
It
invade
might
Florida?
it might be, and in the bistro might be their chow hall up there. You know, you never know.
Just let them know about the alligators because they probably don't have them in China.
Oh yeah, well, I think they have crocodiles over there.
Do
I'm
they?
not sure, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so yeah, so this is kind of TBD. But I think there's going to be compromises on this. I don't think you're going to see it the way it is right now. I think Rick Scott is kind of puffing his chest out and doing one of these and doing his Tarzan call.
Yeah,
And
he maybe he's running. Maybe he's got to get reelected pretty soon. Yeah, yeah.
see, I don't even know if he's up this year, to be honest with you.
Now he's a senator. So does he have to win every 2 years?
It's every 6 years.
Congressman's got to win every 4 years, but he's got to win every 2 years, right?
Congressmen are every 2.
Okay, so Senate's 4 years.
Senators, I think every 4.
I got it backwards then. Okay, so Rick
Yeah.
may be safe for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think he's safe for a couple of years. I don't think Marco's running either. So I don't think either one of them are up right now. So
Okay.
But yeah, well, that's on that.
We better get off this before they accuse us of talking about politics again.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I definitely don't want to go there. So
Mark White said the Chinese have Chinese alligators.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I was watching your show last night, and I'm like, the DJI Neo, and I'm
going to say, I've come to the show tonight to find out about the Neo.
Yeah, DJI Neo drone hits FCC database amid spy video and price leaks. Okay, according to FCC label, the Neo will be powered by a 7.3 volt, 1435 milliamp battery, a sizable reduction compared to other popular DJI models. Speculation about the Neo's specifications by drone industry experts points to it weighing around 169 grams, making it one of the most lightweight drones DJI has ever designed.
Would that be lighter than a Tello?
The Rise Tech Tello weighs even less at 80 grams.
Okay.
But that drone has been out of production for some time now, and DJI shuttering its entire STEM education division last year. The Mini series has plenty of options under 249 grams, suitable for beginners and professionals, but there's no sub 250 gram drone from DJI that offers the safety of a full propeller cage for indoor or proximity flying, like the popular Hover Air X1 or the discontinued Snap Pixie drone. Okay. And then spark back to life in Mavic form. And we're going to go to Igor's. I'm going to show Igor here. Now, they also
and we played that little video there attached last night, and it sure looks like the man in the video is operating the Neo with the standard DJI RC N2 controller.
Okay, and then you see right here, there's this. See if it'll come up here. Yeah, ad from Walmart here. Okay, DJI Neo Flymore combo. All right, and let's pricing on there $329
for a Flymore combo. No less.
Flymore combo on this, believe it or not. Okay.
When's the last time a DJI Flymore combo was $329?
Yeah. they probably, that's how much they probably cost. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, how much was the Tello when it came out? The Tello was like $100 when it came out, or was it 120 or something? Anyhow.
Well, you can take a look. There's kind of a close up right here.
Yeah.
of it, and it's very interesting.
Oh, are you surprised it hit the FCC database already before we even heard about it?
Yeah, I'm surprised at that because I thought if we were going to get any news this week, I thought it was going to be an Air 3S.
I thought it was going to be the Action 5 Pro this week.
Or the Action 5, yeah, either one of those two. But this came out of left field, Ron. Well, no, I don't want to say left field because I think Osita had put something out about this and had some pictures about it, maybe about a week or so ago. So something was in the works. But yeah, I'm going to say what I said in the chat last night, the Spark 2.
Remember, I've been asking you. Remember, I asked that question, Reese. I said, what will we see first, a Phantom 5, a Spark 2, or what was the other one, a Tello 2?
A Tello 2, yeah. Well,
maybe this is a cross between the Tello 2 and the Spark 2.
Well, I'm going to say this: $329 for a Flymore combo for this. Wow, that's a little on the pricey side.
I lost my train of thought there or whatever. Sorry, but I was going to say, I keep losing my train of thought. Oh, no, since it's already been approved from the FCC database and the model the guy's flying around in this video, it kind of looks like it's ready. It doesn't have a million stickers on it or whatever. It looks ready to go. Do you think this is something we may see, real soon?
Oh yeah,
well, Walmart obviously has it in like stock rooms or something already. Are we going to see this in the next couple of weeks, Bill?
Oh yeah, easily. I would say first full week of August, not this week, but the first full week of August, like next week.
How will they do this with the Action 5? What will come first, Action 5 Pro or the Neo?
The Neo. I'm almost positive.
So they'll release that, then they'll give it maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then the Action 5 Pro.
Yeah. That'll hit. They'll probably hit about the September time frame.
They got to get the Action 5 Pro up before the Hero.
Right. I think they'll do it right
they're
before
up to the Hero 13.
Perfect. I think it's going to come out right before the Hero, Ron. That's
okay.
Their timing is absolutely perfect about that. JAA, welcome. Good to see you tonight, my friend.
Fort Lauderdale.
It was at the meetup. The doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who that is. That's who JAA is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I met him. Yeah. Okay.
Doctor friend. Yeah.
All right. I forgot. Yes. Great.
Okay. When David brought up a good point, Tello had brushed motors too.
Yeah. So this will have this. You think this one will have the good? Well, no. They had. We want brushless. So you think the Neo will have brushless, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm almost positive of that.
Yeah. Because the people are already worried that it's so late it won't fly well outside.
Yeah. And I think it'll be a great little drone. I won't doubt that for a second. But you know what? The other thing that really is kind of, and Dobo said it. I don't know if he was on with you guys or if I watched another one of his show, and he said, you don't see the influencers not talking about stuff or being coy about stuff, and usually they're really kind of closed loop whenever they're doing product testing, like for a new drone. All right. Like Billy would be, Ken wouldn't do that. Ken would put out other kind of videos. Billy would do the same, while he's going out there and testing that kind of stuff. So yeah, so this has been pretty quiet. So, and I wonder what kind of influencers got this, because this isn't a typical drone for hobbyists like us. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is going to be for, I would say, a teenager wanting to do selfies, maybe use it for TikTok, Instagram, that kind of stuff. And I would make a bet. That app is going to be integrated either with Instagram or TikTok for you to be able to just get your video right over there.
Do you think we'll have a new app for this that won't run on the Fly app? It'll have its own app?
Yeah, I think it'll have a completely separate app, and it'll be simple, because I think they want to keep it really simple and easy.
But the Tello had its own app.
Yeah, they want to keep this very simple, very easy to operate for people. So I don't see that. But the thing about this is, okay, everything I'm reading is great except this $329 price. I mean, that's like, okay, wow. Because the Tello was like a little over $100, if I remember it, like $100.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was like 99 or 125 or.
Yeah, it was like somewhere around in that kind of range right there. and them being out, 300. Wow, I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, it all depends what it is. If it's just another, like you mentioned that 00 Robotics little fold-up drone, and if it's just something like that where it just kind of flies around and does selfies of you, then that thing's over $400. It's definitely not worth it.
Yeah, if that's all that this drone is going to do, it's not going to appeal to us.
Right. We all want a drone with a controller and so on. Well, this looks like it's a controller because that guy definitely had a DJI RC2, one type controller in his hand or whatever. So that's good news right away. I don't want a drone that doesn't come with a controller, Bill.
Now, I think Bill Thomas mentioned in there this has a 2-axis gimbal.
I thought they said 1-axis last night.
Bill, I saw. If I'm right, Bill, if I'm right,
they were saying 1-axis last night, but I mean, this is all rumors.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We don't. That's something we don't know.
I think that little that 00 Robotics one. I think that just has a 1-axis and then stabilization.
Yeah. So
like Dave was saying, that Hover 1 500. If you want three batteries and all that, a fly more kit for the hovers, $500, and it doesn't even come with a controller. It either flies itself or you fly it with the phone, Bill.
Yeah, and what didn't I'm not include set? What's the quality? That's a good question, Barkley. That really is. I mean, it's a real unknown. Okay, you can buy a tele from DJI Refurbished,
and you can buy a tele all over the internet. Like if you want to refurb or whatever, if you want to tele, they're easy to get a hold of. Batteries are easy to get a hold of.
I had it, and it was, for me, it was unremarkable. Okay, it did what it was supposed to do. I had a tele. It did what it was supposed to do. I thought it had a better camera for pictures than for video.
It definitely did.
The video wasn't stable because the drone wasn't stable, and that's just,
it was much more stable than the other toy drones at that price range,
right?
But not what we're used to. And the problem is when it's mostly an indoor drone unless it's a windless day. It's an indoor drone.
Right. Now
I'm worried that this thing with the weight and whatever that it's going to be kind of an indoor drone.
Yeah.
I don't need an indoor drone. I don't fly over, whatever. I don't fly through houses doing real estate videos. I don't need an indoor drone. Bill, I know you never made out too good flying indoors either, right?
Well, I'm forbidden to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're not too successful with indoor flying either.
Well, I had a run-in at our previous house with the original Mavic Pro. Okay, and I was told unequivocally if I liked my life that it wasn't going to happen again.
Yeah, your first indoor flight should have been with the Tello, not the Mavic Pro, right?
Yes. Now, I did fly the Spark indoors with the prop guards on, okay?
Right.
I got clearance for that. Actually, what I did with the Spark, I had a video, and this was, I had this idea for a video, and I took off from my front porch, flew it all the way through the house, had the sliding door open, flew it out through the backyard, looped around, did a 180, came back, went out, went to the porch, and landed on the porch.
Oh, wow.
But what was real interesting is I was flying over the dining room table. There were papers and stuff, and papers went everywhere, all over the place. So of course, I got yelled at for that. It was my fault.
Drones are good Drones are great leaf blowers, also.
Oh yeah, they absolutely did good. Just want to let everybody know, Marcus is out for the evening with family and at dinner tonight. I just want to let everybody know that I got a message from him. So.
I mean, we're actually just pulling your leg. He's out testing Neo right now, but
he's probably testing the Neo.
When it comes out next week, he'll be able to talk about it. But Bill, you talked a minute about this drone, maybe we were teasing. So I was going to ask you, who do you think this drone is for? Is it for the typical old guy drone flyers like us?
No. I think this is going to be perfect for a 18-year-old, 19-year-old. 17-year-old high school student that likes doing TikTok or Instagram videos because it'll be in that format. I think we're going to have it'll be like a vertical format. I think it'll fit well with them. And I think if I'm right, I think this app is going to be seamlessly integrated with TikTok, with Instagram, and be able to put your video out there, boom, right away. You won't have to,
Do you
just
think
hit
there'll
a
be an
couple
option to
buttons.
fly it with your phone? Because somebody did mention that it's Wi-Fi.
It's possible that I think that's probably part of the deal. But we talked about seeing that the video showing the controller too. So
Well, I mean, remember the Spark had the option of flying with the phone or the controller.
yes, I do remember that.
And the Tello well, Tello, of course, you flew with the controller, but you could get those Bluetooth controllers to fly with if you wanted to fly a controller.
That's true. That's very true. And I had one in my cart on Amazon and almost bought one for the Tello. This is when I had the Tello.
I mean, it flew nicer, but it didn't increase the range or anything. You still were flying on Bluetooth.
Right. It still wasn't. You weren't going to go out over the lake and come back.
Right. You just had more control that you wouldn't hit a wall inside.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it did. It gave you more control when you were flying.
Precise control. Yeah.
So not to switch gears, but still kind of staying in the same subject. Okay. All right. The real shock for me was, seeing this hit the FCC database, but the Air 3S, and it's just like we're hearing crickets. And all of a sudden, we see the pictures, we see that close-up picture of the camera, and then nothing this week.
I mean, do you think there's been rumors for more than a month now that they're having trouble with the Air 3, like maybe software, app related, whatever? And do you think that still could be holding it down? Maybe the hardware is kind of ready, but they can't work out some kind of software bugs with it?
Well, that first pictures that we saw of it were of a crashed one.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, we saw the crash one. Yeah.
So that kind of lends some credence to what you have to say, Ron, that they may have had some type of issues with that.
And they're still having them now.
Back.
Yeah.
And I think what they did was they had the Neo. Neo was all ready to go. And so what they did, I think it leapfrogged the Air 3S. I think the Air 3S was supposed to be coming out like next week. Okay. And I think what happened is it leapfrogged it. And that's what we're going to see next week is going to be the Neo.
Yeah, you believe the Neo is already in the U.S. and warehouses?
Oh, yeah. Walmart has it. Best Buy has it. Amazon has it. It's in stock at DJI. It's going to be everywhere.
So probably it won't be too long before we'll see somebody take a picture of the specs on the side of the box and post it.
Yep. We'll see pictures of boxes.
That's usually the next thing in the fall. Usually it goes like this: specs on the side. Well, first of all, picture the box. Then a couple of days later, you see the specs on the side of the box. Then you get the exact pricing. That's kind of usually how these things go. Of course, we think we know the pricing now, if that's correct. So
the pricing is probably accurate for what I'm thinking here, especially if you're going to get a total of 3 batteries, the one that comes with the drone and 2 additional ones. And they're probably going to give you some kind of case with it too. It's going to be very similar in flavor, like all the other Fly More kits.
And rumors are this is kind of a short flight time, so this is one where you really would want the extra batteries.
Yeah, I think you'll probably have no more than a 10-minute battery on it.
I think I heard somebody say 16-minute flight time, but that's maybe DJI saying 60 minutes, so it won't even actually be that.
Yeah, I say you're not going to get realistically on a drone like that more than 10 minutes, Ron. You really won't, and that's why
I think the Tello was, maybe Tello wasn't even 10. I think Tello was 7 or 8 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was up. You took a few pictures and then had to land. I mean, it was.
Yeah, when you took that off, you didn't want to mess around. You wanted to get what you're going to get done right away.
You do get it done and land. I mean, that's the way it was with that. And then, yeah, you're right about the wind. I think this drone will probably handle wind okay, like 5 to 10 miles an hour. I think that won't affect it. I think if it's over 10, it may have some issues,
especially with those prop guards built in. Because I mean, you probably saw the video I put out a couple months ago when they started RC sent me the prop guards for the Mini 4 Pro. I put them on the thing; it couldn't even handle any wind. I mean, it was flying like crazy outdoors in wind. As soon as I took the prop guards off, it flew well. So those guards on it are going to really hold it down in the wind.
Yeah. So, but I think you're right about the Air 3S. I think that they're having some type of issue with it, and I think that this Neo leapfrogged it in terms of being able to get out to market. And I think what they were planning on doing was the Air 3S was going to come out, then probably the Action 5 was going to come out, and then after that, the Neo was going to come out. I think the Neo was going to be a little later this year.
More of a fallish drone, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I think we were going to see that maybe, October timeframe kind of a thing. But it kind of leapfrogged it. And it's good because, it's still, again, in a positive light, it keeps DJI in the news, okay? This isn't going to be, and see, here's the thing with a drone like that, okay? No one, and I mean no one can come out and say that that's going to take pictures of a sensitive military installation.
Or it's going to drop bombs on anybody.
And carry a dangerous payload.
Risk got saved his payload. Hey, I want to address Warren's comment in chat. He says, I wonder if the Neo will have quick shots. Warren, I bet you that's all it will have. I bet you that's the whole thing Neo will be about, is doing all those quick shots and maneuvers on its own.
It's going to have droney. It's going to have asteroid. It's going to have rocket. It's going to have helo. It's going to have all those. So
Bill, if your prediction's right or whatever about the teenage girls and stuff on it, it'll have all the Instagram-y type shots they like on it.
And that's a good question from Warren right there. I wonder if prop guard stuck on the Neo or removed.
Yeah, I mean, some people like on the Tele cut them off, and the Tele flew much better then.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and putting them on, when I had to put them on the Spark, it was a pain in the butt to get those on. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then a lot of times, it was a clip that held it on. A lot of times it would vibrate loose. I mean, and you're flying, and then you start hearing stuff, and it's just like the prop guard was loose.
And you only want to put the prop guards on when you're flying indoors, because outdoors it ruined. The Spark was a good little flyer outdoors, but not when you put the prop guards on. No,
that was not. Prop guards were only indoors for the Spark. You could not take that outside with prop guards.
Yeah, anybody that never had a Spark, it was a surprisingly good flyer. And you know why, Bill? It was such a heavy little, even though it was little, it was heavy, so it didn't get pushed around by the wind. Some people call it like a little tank. It was like all metal. It was like I said, it was small as a tank of a drone.
Yeah, it weighed quite a bit. It wasn't a 249 gram drone, okay? No. And it stood its ground in the wind. It did really well. The only thing for me with the Spark was, and I know a lot of people had problems with the Wi-Fi and everything. I never really did. My big problem was I finally get out to where I'm shooting a video or something, okay? And then I'm looking and I'm seeing I'm at 70% battery, okay? And I have maybe like 2 or 3 minutes worth of time to shoot and then come back. I mean,
yeah, you definitely need to fly more kit on that guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, but yeah, you went through batteries like that, like water. I mean, it was just boom.
Yeah, well, but remember, for its day in the era it came out, long battery life wasn't a thing yet for any drone.
That's true.
Bill says he still thinks it has the 2-axis gimbal. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
It did, Bill. It did have prop guards, and I remember they were the clip-on kind, and they were a royal pain in the butt to get on and off. Wow. And it had a unique battery charging system, kind of a thing. I remember Mel, when he had his, he showed it to me. It was real interesting, the setup that they had to charge the batteries. Actually, it was pretty ahead of its time as far as that. There were a lot of things about the Spark that were ahead of its time. I mean,
the Spark introduced a lot of features. Like that asteroid shot, that was new. The Spark had a lot of things. It was the first appeared on the Spark.
Well, yeah. Well, what was funny was, okay, and I remember this about the Spark. Okay, remember those hand commands?
Yeah, that was the first. Yeah, that's another innovation.
Yeah, and they worked part of the time. Okay. They did work part of the time, but it had to be absolutely perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Just your hand had to be perfect. Your movement had to be perfect. You couldn't jerk it around. Because I got so frustrated. I tried doing that, and Valerie said, "Be careful. You're starting to lose it out there with that." And I did. I mean, it was so frustrating to do that. But no,
remember the Spark had that kind of front sensor on the top of it, where I guess it was seeing all your movements.
Mm-hmm. And some of the times it did what it was supposed to. And it was just like, wow. Well, it was funny, okay? Because Valerie was shooting my B-roll. It would do that when she wasn't shooting the B-roll. When she was, it wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I am real typical of that.
I'm surprised they never improved the software and got it working better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they had many software releases for that. They really... They really didn't. But what's real interesting is I go out there, people are still actively enjoying their Sparks right now.
You can go on Amazon. You can go buy one right on Amazon today for, I think, for $2.99.
Well, the thing that people are looking into now is batteries, because a lot of the original batteries aren't, they've expired and aren't working anymore, and they're looking to get new batteries. And I always steer people in the direction of DJI and asking them to see if they have anything. And I always tell them to email support@dji.com. That way they'll know whether or not that they really do have them. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that's kind of a kicker right now is batteries for the Spark.
And that doesn't hurt the Spark. I mean, not the Tello. The Tello, you can still get the original batteries. Of course, they weren't DJI. And there's a whole bunch of third-party batteries for the Tello. So if you have a Tello, don't worry about batteries. You can find them all over the place. Amazon, eBay, wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jay Bird says he still has his old Sparky. Spark was like a difficult girlfriend.
Casey Cronfetter.
He's right. He's right.
You are so right, my friend. that was spot on. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had many of those before I met Valerie. So, but no, that was true. It
really Spark was a lot of people's first drone, Bill.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah.
Well, it was
the first affordable DJI drone.
It really was. Now when I got it from Florida Drone Supply, is where I got mine from.
Oh, okay.
And they had a backlog.
Are they still in business, Bill?
Yeah, they're still in business. They do a more commercial business than hobbyists like us. But at the time, there was a run on them. You couldn't find them anywhere when it first came out. Like the retail stores, they were out. Like Best Buy, Amazon was out, and they were out. And it took me about 2 weeks after it got released to get mine, which I was very frustrated because I'd already paid for it.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that thing, the day it came out or whatever, because I was texting with Billy Collins that day because he drove to New York for the launch of the Tello. And I ordered the day it came out, and I got it on the day they announced some date in June, and I got the day they said it was going to come.
I remember watching that video he did, and I saw Rick Smith was there too for that one. Mm-hmm. When the Spark came out, and that was in New York City. They had it at a big place. It was actually in Manhattan. Now, when they did the release for the Mavic 2, that was over in Brooklyn. That was over at the Naval Yards over in Brooklyn. So, and it was a very big venue over there where they did that. And that was the last time they did an actual in-person launch of a drone. It was the one that we went to. That was the last time they did that.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yep. Now it's all internet, all this. So, but yeah, okay, you made a good point about the Air 3S. I think they're kind of chilling out, and that's why we haven't seen anything about it. And we're going to see the Neo next week, and it's going to come out. It's kind of a shock, kind of a surprise. I mean, I was not, at least a little bit. And I'm watching you guys
this time or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching you guys.
Here's a question too. Okay. When's the last time DJI released a new drone? Because, when I say new drone, I mean a whole new line of drones. Because, of course, we get new Minis and new Airs and new Mavics. But when's the last time they released a whole new drone that wasn't a follow-up on another drone? Would it be the Avata? Was that the last new line of drones?
I think you might be right, Ron.
At least in the consumer space.
Yeah, I think you might be right with that. I have a video that I want to show everybody.
Oh.
And I was going to show this last week, and I got sidetracked by this. This is my good friend Orlando. Now, he was on vacation over in Greece. I think it was the Air 3, but I'm not exactly 100% sure.
Did you say Greece?
Yeah, he was over in Greece.
Okay.
And this was on the Mediterranean. So let's see if I can get this here. Okay.
It's awful small there, Bill.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
Well.
Okay.
You may not be able to do anything. All systems firing. I was going to land on him on over the water, huh?
Yeah.
That's always a bad feeling, Bill.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
I'll do his job too bad. Still can't cancel. Look how close he's getting to the water, Bill. Oh, he's right down there. He's skimming over the top. Oh, look, he got back up again.
And that was amazing. Okay.
So what you were saying, if your drone's going to land, unplug the controller and then replug in.
That's apparently what he did. Was he restarted the controller and
it goes back into return to home, starts back in return to home mode again. I guess
that's probably exactly what happened.
Wow.
And
I could have saved a lot of people's bacon if they knew that.
Well, you know, the thing with that was it didn't sync, and that just kind of floored me. How, you know, evidently it was running out of power and going down, but yet I don't think the props were completely off. I think they were still spinning, and I think that kept it from completely going in the water. And then he restarted the controller, and then it returned to home, kicked in, and it jumped right up.
Wow. Again, that's a good hack if you have that happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, Ron, I've never seen anything like that. Okay,
no, I haven't either.
That was an absolute burst.
When that drone was as low as it was, you know, usually that's it. Party's over.
Kiss your bacon goodbye right there. I mean, you know, he was fully resigned that was it. But wow. And he gave me, Orlando said, absolutely, please use it. So I did. I'm still good friends with him. He lives over in the other development that we used to live in. But, and it was interesting because I first got to know him because he took a drone up because in one of the ponds in the other development were gators, and there weren't a lot of gators in the other development that we lived in. And he spotted one and he posted it out on our community page out on Facebook, which I thought was interesting. And then I got to know him and talk to him a lot, and he was a great guy. Really, really like him. But
now drones are good for spying on gators.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful. You got to be real careful. You got to have plenty of altitude. Don't go down to 10 feet.
You don't want to get too low, huh?
Don't go less than 10 feet when you're flying over a gator, okay? Because they will get out of the water in a hurry. Okay.
Yeah, stay up high and use your 3x tele lens to zoom in on them, huh?
Yeah, you want to do that. You don't want to. Well, you know what we've had lately. They've been very active. Now it's past mating season, and I don't know why they've been out of the ponds a lot. But a couple things people have been doing, which aren't really smart, leaving their garage doors open. Okay, so they come in, and also what happens too is snakes will come and wrap themselves around your hot water heater because it's warm over there. Even though it's like sweltering outside, they'll still do that.
Because they're cold-blooded creatures, yeah.
Because they're cold-blooded. So you want to keep your garage doors closed. But somebody showed a picture the other day underneath their car out in the driveway. There's an alligator.
Yeah. Well, and they have an enemy too. Sometimes I see pictures in the Everglades where those pythons wrap around the gators.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always python season in the state of Florida.
Okay.
And there's legal trappers for pythons because it's an enemy of everything.
Yeah, full-size python will wrap himself around an alligator.
Oh, python! They've killed Florida panthers down there too.
They even get the panthers, huh?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Deer and panthers and they're nasty. They're nasty. 20 feet long sometimes. And the state pays a good bounty to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get them. So yeah, they go out there and I mean they will. Well, the Everglades
the whole ecosystem. Yeah.
The Everglades also has. It's the only place in the world that has alligators and crocodiles in the same area. Okay?
How did the crocodiles get up to the Everglades?
It's a $64,000 question. Yeah, everybody wants to know the answer to that, and nobody really does know. But they coexist. They usually get along with each other. Okay. But that python will kill either one. It doesn't care. Okay.
It's not particular. Yeah.
They don't care. So, but
Yeah.
they're considered, fair game all the time, 24/7. They're nasty. They're absolutely nasty.
Yeah, I saw a video. I guess it's someplace in Africa. Some sharks, like bull sharks, can swim in freshwater. A shark got in a inland river, or whatever, and the hippos were in there, and it started coming after a hippo. And the hippos, they went right over there and chased it right off, or whatever. They said the hippo's jaws, it would chop a full-grown shark in half, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Get a couple of hippos in Florida, they wouldn't be any bit scared of your alligators.
Yeah, hippos also go after lions as well too. I mean, lions don't stand a match.
The lions will go after the crocodiles sometimes too, but nobody. Only the elephant could scare the hippo off.
Yeah,
because the elephant is so big.
That's it.
Elephants aren't worried about crocs.
Reasons not to live in Florida. Okay.
yeah. But every state, in Pennsylvania, you could go out in the mountains. A bear could get you. A mountain lion could get you. Every state has its things, right, Bill?
Mm-hmm. It used to be. They said there weren't any poisonous snakes in Pennsylvania. I'm like, yeah. Go up to Northwest Pennsylvania in the woods up there.
Yeah, we have them in Southern Chester County. When I was young, my grandfather ran his camp or whatever, and there was always a bunch of poisonous snakes in this kind of his room underneath the pool or whatever. He used to always not let me go in there because of the snakes.
Oh yeah, they're all people. Oh yeah, Pennsylvania's fine, Ohio's fine. Nah.
Yeah,
it's not like
run into a 500 pound bear in the woods and see how. I tell you one thing: if an alligator ran into a 500 pound bear, he'd run the other way, huh?
That's possible. Well, see, one of the things that I do love every time before I go out in the yard, I got myself trained. I look very carefully. Like a couple of weeks ago when I put my antenna up and was playing ham radio, okay, I looked very carefully in about 30 feet all over to make sure there was no snakes in the grass, because and that's one thing it's really good is our HOA, when they cut the grass, they cut it fairly short so you can see stuff in there. So you don't really find a lot of snakes in the grass when it's short, but when it's tall, they like to hide in the grass. You got to be real careful. And I told Valerie would go out and water the plants. We have plants out on our lanai, and she goes to do that with a water spigot. I told her, I said, you need to look every single time before you reach down and turn that handle on, okay?
Yeah.
There'll be snakes around there. Well, the other snakes that you see around here, okay, coral snakes, okay, and copperheads, especially copperheads. The copperheads aren't aggressive, okay? The ones that are real aggressive down here are water moccasins, and They have water moccasins. You can tell right away they have like a Zorro bandit. But yeah. So well, everybody's going to leave us here soon because we're talking.
Even the Jersey Shore or whatever, bring an alligator down here and throw it in the water and throw a bunch of blood around it. The sharks will come. They won't care that it's an alligator.
Yeah, Warren. Yeah,
coyotes.
We have coyotes here too. We do.
Yeah.
It's at night. It was funny.
Hey, the chat Jaybird just nominated Mike Tomlin for president.
Yeah. Well, I saw an ad today, Ron. Listen to this, okay? It was his wife selling T-shirts with his sayings on it. I kid you not.
Did you put a big order in?
I said I have one word comment. Obviously, that was my comment.
I saw your rookie third round receiver Wilson is injured or whatever. At least that's what Tomlin said at camp.
Well, yeah, he's injured, and Russell Wilson, he's supposedly injured too. He tore his, he pulled a muscle in his calf or something. I'm like,
well, that's what you get for having a 36-year-old quarterback, huh?
They're starting out the wrong way. So, any closing thoughts, Ron?
Just that again, I'm still taken aback by this Neo or whatever, and again, the FCC approval, the leaks, the pricing, and whatever. I didn't think I needed a new line of DJI drones. Did you, Bill? Did you think you needed another kind of DJI drone that they already had now? And I don't know if I need it or not. We'll have to. I'm actually looking forward to seeing something new that's just not another. Most of our drones now are just incremental updates to what we had before, but it'll be kind of interesting to see something that's completely different, Bill.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see that. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I think it'll be think it'll be really worthwhile to do that. And it's something new. It's something to check out, and I always think that's a good thing to do that. So, same for me. Get out there. Don't be worrying about the ban. Okay, if you want to, your senator is going to be on hiatus for about a month. Okay, and if you want to contact any of your representatives, you want to contact your senators, because they're the ones that are going to be voting on something. So just to let you know, something like that along those lines. So, and I want to thank you guys for a great chat tonight. You guys did really well tonight.
Thank you so much, everybody out there.
Yeah, everybody, we're very pleased with that. And just, hey, continue to do what you're doing. We'll look forward to that Neo next week, which I'm sure will come out. I'm sure we'll have a Neo launch party on Drone Nation there. So
yeah, Neo launch party, whatever. Yeah,
Neo launch party. There you go. Well, I'm sorry. I think a Neo. What do you think of? Okay, Matrix. Okay.
Oh yeah, Matrix. Yeah. What's his name? The good actor from the Matrix.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Yeah,
Reeves.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your evening. As always, great day to fly. Take care, everybody.